Welcome. It's December 12th, 2024, and I'm speaking with World War II hero John J. Well, Mr. Jeckovich, let's jump right into it. Mr. John J. Jeckovich has Purple Heart and 2 Bronze Stars. He was shot up, beat up, stabbed, bombed, trench foot. Frostbite?
Yeah,
Is your frostbite bothering you now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and the government gave him a Purple Heart, shot with a sniper in the shoulder, and Battle of Bulge, and still has shrapnel in his leg from a dirty bomb that Nazis blew over their heads. And so yeah, I would consider this a hero. And back then, when he got shot up, stabbed, and have a bomb, as long as you're able to walk and your finger could pull the machine gun trigger, what are you considered?
Fit for duty.
There it is, fit for duty. That'd send you right back in. That'd send you right back in. So here it is, December 12, 2024. In 4 more days will be the 80th anniversary of the Battle of the Bulge, which ran all the way into the end of January. It was the coldest winter of record, 20, 30 below, and these young teenage soldiers were outside 24/7 for well over the month and maybe longer.
Yeah. 33s.
Is there a problem with this?
Oh no, it's good. I just it was cold, he was out there
Well,
in the background.
I'm getting to that. Look at the beautiful backdrop we got there.
Yeah.
That is absolutely gorgeous, Mr. Jeckovich. I see you're looking well today. How you feeling?
Am I looking well?
Yeah, you're looking chipper.
Chipper, huh? Chipper.
You got a new jacket, shirt, pants.
A new jacket?
You
No,
must go shopping every day.
This is nice and warm.
Yeah, you look comfy. You look comfy. So here it is. Mr. Jeckovich is a World War II veteran. Not many left. There's about, of the actual fighting soldiers now we're speaking of. The front line, there's less than 6,000 left, and we're losing them at a rate of 150 a day. So do your math, you can figure it out. Time's almost up. Time's up. But if you don't ask any questions of Mr. Jeckovich, here's the time to ask right now. Text us at 407-366-0000. What's your dog tag number?
421-965.
Okay, here we go. That opens up the computer. But I do like this new background. That is very nice.
Yeah, she worked on that today, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Mr. Jeckovich was in Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. That division at the time was affectionately called the Diaper Division. Why was that?
With what?
Why was your division in the beginning called the Diaper Division?
They're all 19-year-old kids.
They're all
33s.
young kids.
All 33s.
They were affectionately called that.
Yeah.
It was no disrespect, but after the battle,
Age, yeah.
and after the Battle of Bulge, the division was renamed the Bulge Busters. The Bulge Busters. So Mr. Jeckovich lives by the motto, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. So what do you have to say today?
What I have to say today?
Yeah.
I seen Amber paint that picture on the wall. Did you see that?
Yeah, Amber, by the way, is Mr. Jeckovich's great-granddaughter.
Yeah.
A fine young lady, a full-time missionary, and she stops by whenever she has a chance to see Mr. Jeckovich, usually 3 or 4 days a week.
Yeah.
Right now, Amber, as I said, is a full-time missionary, so she volunteers her services all over. You never know where she is. Tonight, I just spoke with her. She's at a graduation of an upcoming nurse in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
She gets around. Amber also, besides being a full-time missionary, is an avid surfer. She surfed all around the world. Luckily, she lives on the ocean. She can roll out of bed and surf any time of day or night. But when you're a surfer, or a serious surfer like Amber, they chase the waves. What I mean by that, she's been all over the world chasing the waves. For example, It's coming up. The summer in Australia will start in December 20th or 21st. It'll go for 2 months. They're opposite of us, the United States. She'll be there surfing the waves. She surfs Puerto Rico, South America. In any country you can imagine that has waves that particular month, Amber will be there. She just got back from surfing in Hawaii for 3 months. Yeah, she was gone 3 months surfing. But she's just not surfing. She's preaching the Bible. She has her Bible with us, and she's spreading the good word of Christ wherever she goes. Very, very unusual person to have someone of this younger generation be so devoted to spreading the good word of Christ. So we wish her best in all her travels and hope she continues to stop by and see Mr. Jeckovich until she has to leave. First stop would be Hawaii, and then it would be Australia. So that is good news. I'm glad you and her had a great time painting, didn't you?
Yeah.
What did you and Amber paint?
We painted that tower.
Eiffel Tower.
No, yeah.
Eiffel Tower.
She painted it.
Yeah, well, I think you
They
did
had
it
painting
together.
classes. They had painting classes this morning out here.
But an interesting fact is,
It's over there where you go out.
I seen it. It was beautiful, beautiful. Interesting fact was that during World War II, what goes around comes around. Where during World War II, you were at the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Jeckovich during World War II, when he got shot up by the snipers, he was hospitalized in Paris.
Paris is England.
Yeah, for 3 months. Well, let's talk about Paris. He met a beautiful young lady named Renee, and they would sit in front of the Eiffel Tower many a time. Many a time. And Renee, it was a nun, but when she realized she got noticed at her young parents, Renee was probably in her early 20s, so I suspect her parents were in their 40s, and she got word that the Nazis, which occupied Paris, occupied France for 4 long, miserable years, killed and tortured her parents. And then the next blow came to Renee when she was notified at the convent that her 2 younger brothers, teenagers, were both murdered and tortured by the Nazis. So what did Renee do then?
She disavowed herself and got to be a resistance.
And she joined the French Resistance.
Yeah.
And did you go to the headquarters of the French Resistance?
Yeah, down in the sewer.
And how was it? They swiped.
Stinky, dampy place. Well, yeah, that's where the communication was.
And that's where it was, down in the sewers. They had like a little desk there or something.
Yeah.
But they were never detected by the Nazis.
No, they never picked them up, no.
No, and another interesting twist with Renee in Paris was that she was also a very accomplished artist.
Oh, yeah, that's what the top echelon of the Germans, their army came down. So they wanted their portraits painted by their natural.
Yeah. So when you went to Renee's apartment in Paris, what kind of things did you see in her art studio?
It was all German top echelon.
And why, being that the Nazis killed her 2 brothers and her parents, why was she painting their portraits?
I was getting the information from them. They'd be talking, they should be picking up
information. She'd be gathering information. But what finally happened? How did it all end?
Well, they found out, they wised up to her, and they shot her.
And that was it. And another interesting fact about the Eiffel Tower that Amber and Mr. Jeckovich just painted yesterday was they would meet Renee there all the time. And many times when Mr. Jeckovich was on a hospital, he would go there when he was able to. First month he wasn't able to, but second and third month in recovery he would visit Renee every night. And he was so determined to get there. This is how he had to get there. He had to take a bus to the train station to Paris, and then once he got in Paris, he'd have to take a taxi to Renee's apartment, right?
Yeah.
And doing all those 3 different modes of transportation to see Renee every night. Did you ever get back late?
No, never get late.
So you made it right under the clock.
Made roll call.
You got made right under the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the third level that we're going to speak about at the Eiffel Tower was, a month and a half ago,
Show that to
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
That's the picture that Mr. Jeckovich and Amber did.
Yeah, that's.
What a beautiful shot.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys hand painted that yesterday and you took your time. I certainly loved it. Now everyone can see that. Thank
Yeah.
Yeah.
you. And the
And she
third,
painted that, yeah.
yeah,
Amber painted that.
well,
yeah.
the third level of the Eiffel Tower is this. And you could go to one of our podcasts. I think right now we have almost 400 podcasts. But you could go to YouTube and you could see the third phase of the Eiffel Tower. Out of the clear blue sky, a real nice young man, probably in his 20s, is standing in front of the Eiffel Tower, speaking for 10 to 15 minutes, thanking Mr. Jeckovich for freeing Paris during World War II. This is probably the third generation person, but his family spoke so highly of it during the last 2 or 3 generations that it was embedded in him to thank American soldiers for freeing Paris. So it was so touching to hear a complete person that we never met speak for 15 or 20 minutes complimenting Mr. Jeckovich on his service 80 years ago. I often...
We got her out of her jam.
Yeah, very much so. But I thought for a second, here's a person several thousand miles away, going out of his way to contact us, then doing a video in front of the Eiffel Tower, and it was just a nice piece relating to the history of Mr. Jeckovich was in. And it was a great compliment. And awful, I wonder, and I never had anyone else in any other country say such a thing. So I think people of France really appreciated the American soldiers.
Oh yeah, they were occupied by the Germans for 4 years.
And they were nasty people. Those Nazis were just nasty people. So that's an interesting thing, how the Eiffel Tower...
She painted the little snot.
Yeah.
Look at that.
How long did it take you guys to paint the Eiffel Tower?
2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Well, they had a painting class down there,
Yeah,
and that was an outline.
I see. That's
And
nice.
then I said, and they gave her beautiful brushes to do that with.
Well, it certainly came out first class.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I don't know how I got J.K. in there.
We'll fix that.
Yeah. But didn't she do a good job painting that?
No, there's great detail. Of course there is.
Yeah.
So, anyways, here we go. We're on chapter 22, and this chapter is titled Wedding Jitters and a New Life. But before we read that, I had a couple questions that came in via text, and it said, Mr. Jeckovich, several months ago, you mentioned in one of your readings that you bumped into Patton by accident. Tell us how that went.
Well, we were on patrol. No, we were going from one point to another, and it was pouring rain. I told the guys, get in the barn somewhere, get the hell out of the rain. We'll get some sleep, some straw in that. So we were walking all day.
Yeah.
So we got in the barn. We started falling asleep. Patton and posted camouflaged the Jeep and trailer back. Patton caught it.
Ah, okay. And what did he
He
say?
come in roaring, what the hell are you guys doing sleeping? Get the hell up and get going to the next checkpoint. Out, go, 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 go.
Yeah, General Patton was very instrumental during the Battle of Bulge, and Mr. Jeckovich has some notes here that I'm going to read. As the German offensive in the Ardennes gathers speed, Patton keeps track of the events from his headquarters 60 miles south in the town of Nancy.
They were ahead of them.
Yeah,
They had their parachute of supplies.
When the time comes that he is called into action, Patton will be taking his orders from Bradley. At the moment, Bradley is caught up, so unprepared that he has allowed a group of professional American basketball players to tour the German areas they're now attacking. The famous film actress and singer Marla Dietrich is also on hand. Did you ever meet Marla Dietrich?
I know, well, she was there, but I didn't get a chance to
Okay.
see her.
The famous film actress and singer Marla Dietrich was also on hand. She had performed in the Belgian crossroads town of Bastogne. You spent a lot of time.
Bastogne,
You spent a lot of time in Bastogne, right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
What was
Belgium.
Bastogne?
Belgium, yeah.
What was Bastogne like?
Bastogne,
Yeah.
Belgium.
I mean, what was it like? What was the town like?
Town, a little farm town.
Did it have a lot of damage?
Oh, they didn't get bombed too well.
Tonight, she is scheduled to put on a show for the men at the U.S. 99th Division in Belgium, hamlet of Honsfeld. The concert is abruptly canceled.
Yeah.
Instead of watching the show, the 99th is digging in, trying desperately to stop the elite German 12th and the 3rd SS Panzer Division from capturing the spot on the map known as Elsborn Ridge.
Yeah, that was a crossroads on the bridge, yeah.
Yes, it was. You got that. And you were at Elsenberg Ridge, right?
Yeah.
As a vast treeless hill that is in a picture of natural beauty when wild grasses cover it.
Well, we were out the bridge pulling the dynamite charges off the bridge.
Oh, is that
And
what
we
you
didn't
did?
know when they were going to go off either.
Oh, wow. And then when did they go off as scheduled?
Yeah, well, the Germans set it up to blow that bridge, slow us down.
But there is no beauty right now, just frozen mud, corpses, and shell craters. How big were the shell craters?
Shell craters?
Yeah.
Well, it was a 105 howitzer. It was probably 3 or 4 feet in diameter.
3 or 4 feet? Wow.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot to do because that ground is frozen like cement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for the moments when fog covers the hilltop or the powerful winds are driving rain and snow into their eyes, which is often. The men of the 99th are in good position in their foxholes. Any German attack would have to travel half-mile uphill over open ground. Shooting them should be as easy as taking aim and pulling the trigger. But first they have to see the enemy, and that's not easy. A thick forest night, 100 yards down the slope, offers the Germans complete concealment. So there's a lot of fog,
Yeah,
right?
there was fog, and there was no moon either.
Oh. And the woods are dark and gloomy inside, as is covered in a shroud of pines. The dense fog, was it always foggy every night?
Well, when you were near the ocean, yeah.
The dense fog,
11 minutes.
take a picture of me on that thing.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, send it to me. Let's see. The dense fog makes the Germans even more invisible, so the fog is in the Germans'
They
favor.
were throwing the sheets off the bed in the camouflage.
Yeah, and that's to cover them up in the snow, so it'll be all
Yeah.
white sheets. The 99 soldiers are easy targets for the German artillery guns hidden in the forest below, including the high-velocity 88 millimeters.
Yeah.
What's an 88 millimeter like?
88 is bigger than it's almost bigger than 105.
Wow.
They're usually on tanks.
How could you show me with your hand how big an 88 is?
What?
Could you show me with your hands how big an 88 is?
Shell?
Yeah, show me with your
Shell is
hands.
about that long.
Jeez.
And it's about probably 3 or 4 inches.
And what's the range?
The range is probably 1.5, 2 miles.
Yeah, high-velocity 88 millimeter guns which fire a round that travels a half a mile per second.
Yeah.
You don't have time to jump. The 99th came to the Ardennes for training, not battle. So the 99th went there strictly to train. They did not think they were going to be in the middle of a battle.
No, no.
That's why they canceled Marlene Dietrich's concert, because they were unexpected.
So she was too close to the front.
The men lacked winter camouflage. The men didn't have any camouflage, right?
No.
The men. What did you do for camouflage?
We took the sheets off the bed and it ripped a hole in it and put it over our shoulders.
So you're all white like the snow.
Yeah, well,
The men lacked winter camouflage uniforms. They lacked ammunition and warm clothes, and yet they had to stand ready to hold the line at all cost. Because if they don't, Hitler's crazy gamble in the Ardennes just might succeed. As with the equally strategic nearby location known as the Losheim Gap, the Elsenborg Ridge represents a vital corridor that the German army must possess in order for the Operation Watch on the Rhine to accomplish its mission. So Hitler was there, but no one thought he was going to be there.
Yeah.
The Losheim Gap is a narrow valley known to be the pathway for funneling tanks through the rugged Ardennes. How do you pronounce it, Ardennes?
Ardennes.
Say that again?
Ardennes Forest.
Ardennes. The ridge is critical because of the network of key roads on the other side. Capture the ridge, gain access to the roads, and the German divisions suddenly stand a very good chance of making it all the way to Antwerp. So the 99th must hold the line. If it fails, Hitler may succeed. Even when the Germans aren't firing, here's an interesting point you said, even when the Germans aren't firing, the sounds of their laughter and snippets of conversation carry up the hill to the 99th. So you can still hear them at that distance.
Yeah.
The Americans...
Well, we're in the woods. We're in the woods.
Yeah, the Americans grow depressed and anxious as they hear the never-ending clink of the tank treads from the forest, reminding them that the force now gathered down below is indeed an enormous army. It's a massive army.
Yeah.
In fact, they will learn that the German forces outnumber the Americans by 5-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
So boy, oh boy, the Americans got caught big time. As the men await the inevitable, the 99th endures a relentless artillery pounding. Those that live to tell the story will long remember that the scream of the high-velocity 88mm shells. What does the scream sound like of the shells?
A real high-pitched whistle.
You hear that going over your head?
Yeah. Even if they're going over your head, yeah.
And it's constantly, it's like every second, right?
Yeah, but you hope it goes over your head instead of stopping.
Yeah, but it's like every second, right?
They could stop them anywhere they want and then you jump up, right? If they knew where you were, they could drop that right on your head.
Oh, word. And the sounds get higher and more pronounced just before impact. They will remember reciting the Lord's Prayer over and over as those assault guns pound the position. I guess that's where we got the term, there's no atheist in a foxhole.
No.
Now, where were you guys where the 99th was? Were you near there?
Right.
Were you around the 99th?
99th Division?
Yeah.
99th was down there, yeah. They were on the other end. They were on the end of the country, yeah.
They will
They
remember.
were spread all over.
They will remember the filth, the hunger, the cold, and the life of the living, and the life of living like an animal.
No hot meals or nothing for 2 weeks.
Yeah. They will remember the filth, the hunger, the cold, and the life of living like an animal. And then there is a 99th new list of unwritten rules. They cannot sleep for any length of time because the German attacks have no set routine. So now you can't sleep.
Yeah.
You have to be up all the time. They cannot leave their foxholes during the daylight because German gunners will zero in on any sign of movement. Many are so cold they cannot stop shivering.
Oh yeah, well, you were in a foxhole, you couldn't get in the foxhole, you'd kill yourself running in a foxhole, they get right on top of you and shoot you down.
Yeah. Over the next 4 days, the 99th will see 133 more of its men die. 600 will fall back to the battalion aid station to be treated for frostbite. That's exactly what you got, frozen feet.
Yeah.
And did you have pain with your frostbite last night?
Last night I had, yeah, I go like this to switch it out, and it hurts my knee.
It hurts your knee too.
And then that heats that foot up, and I do it enough times to make myself sleepy, and then I fall asleep.
So what do you do to
I take it and push it like that, push my toe away
that
out,
relieves some of
and
the pain?
I stretch that foot a little bit, that heats that up. So
And
I do that
what type of pain is it? Is it like a electrical pain?
like an arthritis pain.
Okay. And that came from frostbite.
Yeah. I still got the frostbite. I had it last night.
Oh, wow. So,
You don't leave it. When the temperature drops, it drops with you.
so even though during the summer it's better.
Yeah.
Over the next 4 days, the 99th will see 133 more of its men die. 600 will fall back to the battalion aid station to be treated for frozen feet frostbite. As many as 1,844 will suffer the indignity of going missing, meaning that their loved ones will never get a closure that comes with having a body or a bury. So out of this particular battle, almost over 1,800 men went missing.
Yeah.
What do you think happened to them?
Well, they buried a lot of them.
I see. So, but their families wouldn't know.
And then when they were caught in the woods, they just dropped their animals through them up.
Oh, okay, I understand. But the 99th will not quit. Although there was also no Germans to the rear, the troops did not fall back. They must hold the line, so they'll wait at the inevitable moment when the Germans sprint the half-mile up the hill and to kill them. Hour after hour, day after day, in the midst of the endless artillery barrage, they fire back and wait. All the while, they wonder whether they will hold the line, get killed in action, or avoid a violent death by surrendering. But like soldiers on both sides of the battlefield, they will soon learn that surrender does not always prevent violent death. In the next 3 days, Hitler's infantry will murder more than 350 American soldiers and 100 Belgian civilians. So even though you raise the white flag, they'll still kill you.
Well, nobody raised a white flag.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you were, I'm sorry, yeah, not the white flag, that was a wrong term. You were captured, they'd still kill you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've been better off killed than going to the PW camp with those guys. They wouldn't feed you or nothing. You had no heat or nothing.
The Ardennes, the second day of the Operation Watch on the Rhine, begins. The German 1st SS Panzer Division is on the move. They are the lead element in a much larger 6th Panzer Army, tasked with racing through the countryside as quickly as possible to capture 3 vital bridges over the Meuse River.
Yeah, those bridges were critical. And they had them all dynamited. We had to get underneath the bridge and pull the fuses out. Take the dynamite off the bridge.
So what finally happened?
Huh?
Tell us what finally happened with the 3 bridges.
Well, we went under. We didn't know when they were going to explode. We didn't know what they had them set up. But
So did they explode?
They want to blow the bridges to keep them off. So we get on it and pull everything, pull everything.
And did the bridges blow, or did the bridges?
No, they didn't, because we just.
You guys pulled all the bombs off.
Yeah, we'd be diffusing. Yeah,
That must have been a very dangerous job.
Oh yeah.
One wrong move.
We said pull everything. To see the wire, pull it.
Wow.
And did many bombs go off by when they pulled them, or no?
Well, I think we got most of them.
And so the bridges stayed intact.
And then when they wanted to blow the bridges because they would be at a good advantage, because we had to go all the way around to get around, because that was the river there too.
And that was a Rhine?
That was the Rhine, yeah.
Yeah. And so that would have been very, very advantageous to the Germans to blow the bridges.
Yeah.
Minutes?
45 seconds.
That is amazing. And so they pulled every...
So go there and pull everything.
Pulled everything. What do they do with them? They drop them in the water?
Just pull them and drop it down in the water, yeah, and go right down underneath the bridges. You hope don't get one blow in your face.
Yeah, one, because you're face to face with it to find it.
Yeah,
How many did you pull, do you think? Can you remember? How many did you
They were tied to underneath the bridge.
And would you have to cut them with a knife?
Well, you could pull them down.
Oh, you could pull 'em down.
They say the rope, not rope, but it was a quick job, and they knew they were gonna blow, so they wouldn't be there for long.
So like a string,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you can rip it down.
Yeah.